As we enter the new year and prepare ourselves for a long winter, many can suffer from seasonal depression. The temperatures are cold, the sun's intensity changes, and this can be a difficult time for people. PCN met up with a therapist in Pembroke to understand this syndrome more.
We prepare ourselves for winter in a certain way. We get our cars ready, we prepare our lawns, our homes, and that sort of thing. So I think if an individual realizes that they're less joyous during the winter months, there are definitely certain things they should do in preparation. I would recommend that the first stop be to an individual's primary care physician. And usually what a primary care physician will do will prescribe something called phototherapy, which is basically light box therapy. It's a light box that has natural and artificial light. A person can sit in front of it for a certain period of time each morning, and usually individuals will experience a change and a lessening of symptoms within as short as 4 days. But there's another way that we can also look at this as well, and I like to use the acronym GRAPES. And just easy as a way to remember things, G is to be gentle with yourself. And in that, I mean, find the things in your life that bring you joy and incorporate them. And that could be something as simple as, a nice bubble bath with music and candles, or it could just be, spending time with some close friends or a good book. Going back to our acronym, R for relaxation. And by this, I mean, a lot of people are able to incorporate yoga into their daily routine in the winter time, and that is, of course, proven to decrease stress. Also, meditation is enormously important as well, because that could actually change the neural pathways in an individual's mind. So going back to our acronym, A for accomplishment. And this is something that I speak to my clients that struggle with depression all the time about. It's very, very important to establish a daily routine where an individual's getting up at the same time and going to bed at the same time. This helps them not overeat and incorporate regular meals. It also helps really them have a certain structure to their day, and this becomes very important. It's very easy to sleep the day away when you're depressed. So in terms of A, accomplishment, set a daily regimen or routine. We also have P for pleasure. Now, I realize this is not a possibility for everybody, but if there is a way that an individual can take off, can go somewhere warm where there's a lot of sunlight and maybe sit on a beach and plan that winter vacation, it can be very, very helpful. It will lift them emotionally and physically from the dark space that they're in and allow them to kind of redirect themselves and possibly, lessen some of their symptoms. And going back to our acronym, E for exercise. Sometimes even just going for a short walk can be incredibly helpful for an individual. I realize that in the wintertime, snow and ice might prevent this and it might make it difficult for a person. So if indeed that is the case, I would say, hey, hit your local gym and choose what exercise machine you're on based upon which one is nearest to the window. So hit the treadmill closest to the window or the cycling machine or whatever it is as a way of sort of getting some exercise. Extremely helpful. And lastly, S for social. And this is a key place and a key point to stress, because I think with depression comes a certain amount of isolation. And that isolation winds up breeding the depression even more. So the longer somebody isolates, the worse they become. They're sitting with their own thoughts, they're losing perspective. And so the best thing is really to try to reach out to another individual. Surround yourself with people that care about you, that can give you that reality check, remind you that these feelings are temporary, and of course give you a better perspective on your life. And finally, I just wanted to say that if somebody's symptoms are very strong, so that they have suicidal thoughts, they're feeling absolutely hopeless, I think it's important to reach out for some professional help and, to connect with a psychotherapist or possibly even entertain the possibility of doing an antidepressant just for those winter and darker months throughout the year.